Let's get to work.
Who would have thought South Dakota at this point would be in play?
We're the land of great faces and great places.
One of the key states to gain control of the U.S. Senate this November.
It is a complicated race in South Dakota.
I've been talking about taking it back.
The battle for control of the U.S. Senate.
So that's been the theme of your campaign.
Absolutely. Taking it back from big money special interests.
If we don't win in South Dakota, a high probability that we don't win back the United States Senate.
Good to have you with us tonight, folks. Thanks for watching. We come to you from the middle of the country where there is a big Senate race developing. We're 25 days away from the midterm elections, and the stakes couldn't be higher. If Republicans do take control of the United States Senate, the consequences could damage the middle class even further and pay no attention to the environment. Earlier today, Ohio Senator Rob Portman laid out the Republican game plan if the GOP takes the Senate.
With a majority, we could immediately do things that would help give the economy a shot in the arm, a needed shot in the arm. So think about Keystone XL pipeline. It would happen in the first couple weeks. The biggest infrastructure project, arguably, in America next year. 42,000 new jobs. Think about tax reform. The president is talking about companies that are taking jobs overseas. We actually want to solve that problem. We could do that. Think about regulatory relief and expanding exports, things that actually create jobs.
Well, you heard it. Climate change, nowhere to be found. In fact, the Keystone XL pipeline is on the top of the list for Republicans. They don't care about the climate change. They don't care about the environment. And they're lying about jobs. Those 42,000 jobs Portman was talking about, they are all temporary. They won't be around very long. We have debunked this lie time and time again here on The Ed Show. Democrats keeping control of the Senate is crucial for the progressive movement in America. The Republicans think they think they're going to win Montana, they think they're going to win South Dakota, and they think they've got Iowa locked up. Hold the phone. Democrats on the ground in South Dakota think that their Senate race is very much in play. So tonight we focus on South Dakota, the Senate race there, where Keystone is a big issue and the Democrat isn't running away from it. It's a close three-way race between former Republican Governor Mike Rounds, who was surrounded in controversy over an economic development project that went sour to the tune of millions. Former Senator Larry Pressler is running as an independent, and many people in South Dakota think that's a joke. There's nothing bipartisan about Pressler, never has been. Democrat Rick Weiland has just received support from national Democrats to the tune of millions of dollars. Rounds is in the lead so far at 35%. Pressler is polling second at 32%, and Weiland is gaining up to 28%. Rounds is the only candidate supporting the Keystone XL pipeline. Both Weiland and Pressler are against it. Now, Pressler is a former United States Senator from South Dakota who served 18 years as a Republican. He has deep conservative roots close to the Tea Party. On Wednesday, the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee announced it's in play. They're going to spend $1 million on this race. The Mayday PAC announced that they will also be spending $1 million in supporting Rick Weiland and going after big money. This will keep Weiland on the air in South Dakota until the election, and that has traditionally been a problem for the Democrats to run the table. Earlier today, I was on the ground in South Dakota to size up the race. Here in South Dakota, the Rick Weiland Take It Back campaign is hoping history repeats itself. It was back in 2002 when Tim Johnson went to bed down 3,700 votes and woke up ahead 500 votes because Shannon and Todd County had not been counted. Shannon and Todd County is heavy Native American. If Weiland's camp can get Native Americans to come out and vote, they think that could be the ace in the card. And Keystone is a big player with Native Americans here in South Dakota. It's too close to call, in your words?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And this money could put you over the top?
Absolutely.
Okay. When you look at Pressler's ID and his experience in Washington, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing from what you hear?
Well, I think a lot of people, Larry had 18 years in the United States Senate, and You know, he's got a voting record, and it will get now scrutinized. I'm sure going forward. He's pretty much been on the sidelines just doing his thing, and the focus has been on Mike Rounds and Rick Weiland. The fact that Mike Rounds is down to 35% says that this is not going to be the coronation that he and the Republicans thought it was going to be. Who would have thought South Dakota at this point would be in play?
But how are you going to make up 7 points in the polls?
Oh, I think it's pretty easy.
You think that's doable? Okay.
Yeah. I think these polls are all over the map. Our internals are strong. We can close this gap. Part of what I think happens here is that people begin to focus now on Pressler that have moved from Rounds as a result of the EB5 scandal and the fact that he didn't do that well in his own primary. He lost 45% of the vote, spent all the money. He's got 2 other, Howie and Pressler in the race because they part of the Republican Party just isn't that enchanted with Mike Rounds. Now, if that votes move to Pressler, I think that there's a chunk there that is looking for somewhere else to go. They've parked there for now because they've left Mike Rounds, and I think we got a real shot at a winning percentage. When Larry's record gets examined a little bit, I mean, I'll give you an example. Both he and Rounds want to ultimately change the programs of Social Security and Medicare. Those are big programs.
They want to privatize them?
I think Senator Pressler's on record saying he wants to expand the retirement age from what it currently is, and pull back on the benefit. He wants to do it to help balance the budget. Rounds wants to go after Medicare and Social Security, I think, to pay for Ryan's tax cut for the millionaires and big corporations, which is about $6 trillion if you looked at that over the next 10 years. They want to voucherize Medicare, which I don't support. I want to open up Medicare. I mean, that's the thing I've been talking about, which I think also connects with the people in those towns that I'm talking with. They don't like big insurance. They don't want to have to be forced to only have to buy big insurance. They like the option. And I get it's so interesting what the Republicans would say about that. It's putting Obamacare on steroids. Well, they're indicting Medicare by saying that. Yeah. Medicare's been a program that has worked well for people in this country. 97 cents of the dollar goes to pay for health care. 3% goes to pay for salaries. That's a little bit different in the private sector with big health insurance.
What is Keystone going to do to this race? You're against the pipeline. Your opponents are very much in favor of it. The Native Americans are on record. The tribes have supported you. How big a play is this going to be?
I imagine there's going to be big money coming in to beat me on Keystone, would be my guess, because I have taken a very strong position in opposition. And what I tell people, if you could just have the conversation with the tens of thousands of people that I've had one-on-one, when I sit down and tell them it's not about jobs, because there are none, 35 total, we don't know if we get one of them. It's not about energy security, because it's an export pipeline. Most of that oil's going overseas, so we don't get any, so we don't get energy security. And, it's not about freeing up the rail lines or the engines to haul grain. And that's the new argument that Keystone and the Koch brothers are trying to make, is that we've got a glut of grain here and we can't get it to market. Boy, if we build Keystone, then we're going to be able to tap into that with the oil coming from your home state of North Dakota, and we'll free up. That has nothing to do with it, but that's the argument that they're trying to make. I hope I can win that argument. Because I have the facts on my side, but big money's been, perpetuating this myth that this is good for the country and is good for South Dakota. I don't even have to talk, Ed, about the environmental calamity waiting to happen, which is what the tribal nations are very concerned about. What happens to the Oglala Aquifer if that pipeline leaks? And pipelines leak. And this is really ugly stuff coming out of
So
Canada.
Where do you think residents of this state stand on Keystone?
I think a lot of them are undecided because they're not up to speed on what's going on. I've seen numbers where 50% really don't know. So I think if we had the resources and enough time, I could convince a majority of people in South Dakota that I'm right on this issue.
Will you spend these resources educating citizens on Keystone? Will that be some of your resource going to that?
It possibly could be. We'll see. I mean, maybe some of the other organizations that like my message about big money will help me with that message.
One of the things about South Dakota traditionally is that the polls are undersampled because of the Native American population. It's hard to judge how they feel on issues. and it's really hard to judge what kind of turnout they're going to have on Election Day.
Absolutely.
Is this your ace in the deck?
Well, I've been endorsed by all our tribes, which I'm proud to have received that endorsement early on. I spent a lot of time in Indian country in this campaign. I've been out and about for the last almost year and a half.
They're with you on Keystone.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Okay. Is that a motivator to them?
For them, it's a huge motivator. Absolutely.
So you're counting on a huge Native American turnout.
I'm hoping for a huge Native American turnout. They've turned out in the past when they've been motivated, and I sense that there's some real motivation right now, not only on Keystone, but they're looking for someone who's going to fight for them too.
And they are voting today in South Dakota. In fact, it's a very interesting dynamic that plays out. The voting starts 6 weeks before the election, so there is a big effort on the reservations for the Democrats going on right now. Another story that we're going to bring to you next week is the controversy surrounding former Governor Mike Rounds. It's an EB-5 visa program that deals with investors getting automatic green cards into the United States. The county, the state, the city of Aberdeen, the county and the state lost millions of dollars. Investors lost millions of dollars. It was a beef processing plant that was never managed properly from the start. Millions of dollars is missing. There's been a lot of coverage and editorial on it in South Dakota. It's weighing heavily on this race. We will bring that story to you this coming Monday here on The Ed Show. Get your cell phones out. I want to know what you think. Tonight's question: can Democrats hold the Senate? Text A for yes, text B for no to 67622. You can always go to our blog at ed.msnbc.com. We'll bring you the results later on in the show. For more, let me bring in Adam Green, co-founder of the Progressive Change Campaign Committee. And, of course, Adam, your organization has been involved in this South Dakota race. The situation that's playing out right now on the prairie, the three-way race and a lack of money early on, but now that money's coming into Weiland's camp. Can this be a game changer, or is it too late as you see it?
This can be a game changer. Let me just say on the front end that there is no race that is more important to progressives, and there is no race more important to Democrats right now than this South Dakota Senate race. And PCCC members were proud to support Rick Weiland from the very beginning. At this point, giving over 10,000 grassroots donations to his campaign, over $60,000. And what we're seeing right now is that this is a tight race. And this is a great example where progressives led the way and the Democratic Party infrastructure is following. And on election night, November 4th, this could be the race to keep your eye on.
Why are national Democrats slow to jump in? They're in now, but, you know, it's 25 days away, and here comes several $1 million to help him out. Do they believe that this visa problem that the former governor has had is really the game changer here, and there's an opening?
That's a big part of it. You know, Mike Rounds really has this air of corruption around him. You know, there's a lot of details around this EB-5 scandal, but the bottom line is that his political donors profited by his corruption. And now we have this guy, Rick Weiland, who is the perfect person at the perfect time with a message about take it back. Take back our government from the big money interests who have captured our economy and our democracy. He is railing for the little guy against the big guy, talking about how instead of tax cuts for millionaires and corporations, like he told you, we have to invest in education, increase Social Security benefits, not cut them, and make sure that we are basically populist on these core issues. And let me say one more thing, Ed. You know, I actually was on that 2002 South Dakota Senate race that you talked about, where we won by about 524 votes. And my big takeaway that year was that prairie populism is alive and well in South Dakota. You have culturally conservative farmers and ranchers, people who are pro-life, pro-gun, who are willing and proud to vote Democrat if the Democrats are standing up boldly on economic populism and democracy issues. And that's why I say that Rick Weiland is really the perfect candidate at the perfect time right now.
Well, with this economic populism that you talk about on the prairie, Weiland is going after big money. He's a guy that says that special interests has spoiled American politics, and that he would be a guy who would go to Washington and not be beholden to big money. He is against the Keystone XL pipeline. He's for the minimum wage. He's for collective bargaining. He does not want to privatize Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. I mean, isn't he today's Democrat?
Yeah, Rick Weiland is part of the Elizabeth Warren wing of the Democratic Party. And that's why PCCC members were so proud to support him from the very beginning. And I will say that Mayday Super PAC, which you mentioned before, which is a people-powered, nonpartisan super PAC, which is targeting corrupt politicians in both parties and supporting those that support reform, just announced this week that they are putting $1 million into this race. We are very proud at the PCCC to partner with them on these reform issues, and that will be a big deal. And again, in this case, progressives led the way, reformers led the way. The Democratic Party infrastructure was kind of last to the game, but it's really great that they're there. And again, on November 4th, this could be the defining race that puts Democrats over the top.
All right, and we'll have more on this story on Monday on the EB-5 controversy that has unfolded in Aberdeen, South Dakota, and throughout the state. Adam Green, PCCC, good to have you with us tonight. Appreciate your time. Remember to answer tonight's question there at the bottom of the screen. Share your thoughts with us on Twitter at EdShow and on Facebook. We want to know what you think.